Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you're serious about investing in the digital asset space. Let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. So with the recent news, of course, with PayID, guys, this global coalition for obviously open payments in many groups servicing at least a good 100 million people. We've gone through the groups, and what's interesting is we've talked about this before, the notion of a single payment ID, whether that be your phone number, a social security number, a single email, a credit card number, a domain name, etc., all going, because obviously whether it's wire transfers, cryptocurrency, debit cards, or even other mobile network wallets, Alipay, Venmo, PayPal, wouldn't it be nice to just have a single payments identifier? So it's cool to see that Ripple is joining this. This should be no surprise to you guys as one of the global companies, one of the unicorns, a $10 billion valued company. But again, a step in the right direction. Now, I've seen some people saying that this is a competitor to Swift, and I think that the illusion of competition and them versus us is cool in theory, but in reality, we have proof that Swift is actually helping with these initiatives and rolling them out. Now, I've seen a few people sharing this on Twitter, but believe it or not, I actually do my own research as well. So sorry if you guys found it as well, but I just found it with a simple Google search. So again, with like Swift and PayID. So benefit from our experience, Australian NPP. So as we can see here, this article is really interesting, so be sure to stick around. We'll go over some additional points. So Swift revolutionized Australian banking with the RTP real-time payments, designing, building, and delivering the new payment platform, playing a key role in operating this infrastructure themselves. Now, obviously, this also enables PayID. We can see, working on this new payment platform for all of you Aussies out there, Swift's developed, designed, and tested and delivered the NPP. Okay, so the new payments platform, helping this paradigm. Now understand payments ID, messaging, that's all great in theory, but what is being done to reduce these pre-funded accounts around the globe? Well, that comes with settlement with finality, and I do believe that DLT will play an instrumental role in this foundation, and yes, I do believe a digital asset will be used to transfer, and yes, I believe someday XRP absolutely has that potential, because if you are just using other walled garden tokens or utility settlement tokens, there's still the issue of trust, there's still the issue of building true liquidity upon these networks, and of course a flip of the switch between walled gardens can do that, but DLT obviously has many more benefits. When you incorporate all of them, not only efficiency, scalability, but the trust factor, that is what is going to happen. Now, of course, we need interoperability protocols, etc. Just keep that in mind. So we can see with the NPP, Australia working on this 24/7 instant payments, real-time line by settlement via the Reserve Bank of Australia's fast settlement service, and now PayID, new and easy way to link a financial account with an easy-to-remember identifier, such as a mobile phone number, email address, or an ABN. Again, I believe this is the Australian business number for businesses. Now, open access platform that truly empowers innovation through competition. And the funny thing is, guys, this is just one example of PayID being implemented and built upon. There's many groups, and now you can actually build within the app, like actually integrate PayID within your application within minutes. This barrier to entry is getting easier and easier. And obviously, I think this is just going to be a part of the future. I think this has been planned for quite some time. I think a lot of people are really surprised and impressed, but we've been talking about this for quite some time, and many people have seen this coming. So these are some bold quotes I do want to share, though, from Swift. All right, so right here, the rollout of the NPP and the enablement of real-time payments is the most significant development in the Australian payments industry in decades, and will perhaps have the most revolutionary impact on the economy than any previous payment system innovation. That's a bold quote. Obviously, the same vernacular Swift, 40 years old, delighted to have played an important role in the creation and rollout of the RTP in Australia. And as we can see here, the smooth delivery of the project is a measure of the great partnership that Swift and the Australian industry have developed throughout the program. NPP has also showcased the expertise and innovative approach of Swift's global payments team and the value that we can deliver to other markets, including the European Union, as it moves towards the goal of a harmonized instant payment service within the Eurozone. Reminds me of all the talks, if you guys have watched conferences, even back in the day when Christine Lagarde was over at the International Monetary Fund. Well, funny enough, Thanks to her leadership and, obviously a lot of things that she's been chatting about, she's the president of the European Central Bank. Now, what's interesting as well is we can actually see these groups really, really pushing now to other systems and ecosystems that are also RippleNet enabled. Should be no surprise. We have, for example, Target 2. We've talked about Target 2 for securities in the actual transaction volume, not only volume, but value moving over these networks. It is massive. And yes, with tips, with these instant payments initiatives, with Task Group as the heart of their Euro system, utilizing them, they are partnered in utilizing RippleNet as well. So will they use XRP? We will see, but just know that the possibility is there. Okay, now Swift's instant payment strategy is committed, and just take a look at this, guys. We're talking about high value, not on-demand liquidity corridors. We're talking about the big boy money, right? Swift, which currently connects 85 of the 149 high value payment systems in the world, including Chaps in the UK, Target 2 in Europe, which we talk about probably more than anything, and the Swift India domestic services also offer gateways to instant payment platforms in Hong Kong and in the US. All right, I thought that was interesting. And again, remember, universal payment identifier. This reminds me even of things that go hand in hand with actual identification, like Global ID, working by Greg Kidd. All right. Next, I saw XRP 2020 sharing this as well. Swift also tied. So again, the same article I went over. All right, if you guys get anything out of this video, please pay attention to this thread. This potential is massive right here. So Matthew L.N.Y. putting this together for us. So we talked about Volante Volpay. Again, Volante is one of the technology providers for the RTP, the clearinghouse platform that's being built. They're also partners with many groups and already integrated with FPS of UK, whether it's local payment networks or real-time gross settlement networks. These are massive systems. So for example, guys, I'll show you some of the transaction volume that's moving over this network on a daily basis. It is truly unbelievable. Now, if you remember one of my recent videos talking about a lot of payments for a tighter spread rather than, a few big payments in a wider spread, this will actually suit the price appreciation of XRP quite nicely. And this is exactly what kind of the founders have in mind if you remember some of the old Bob Way discussions. And I know Anders Lundberg, Alex Cobb, Brad Kimes, they've all brought up good points, at least during those interviews on YouTube as well. So pay attention here. So Volante Volpay integration with MuleSoft brings possible XRP plugin to cloud providers. So again, MuleSoft, we've talked about them time and time again. They have this platform called Anypoint Platform, pretty suitable for the name. One platform for APIs and integrations, right? So design and build API integrations at lightning speed. Obviously, connectivity is key. You guys can see examples here. So if you want to check that out, mulesoft.com. And so, to kick things off, Anypoint API Manager, we got the Cloud Hub, we got Mule right here, these groups that they're, connected to, integrated to, again, a variety of services offered by these providers, whether it's software as a service, cloud platforms, or social, okay? And then even, this makes me think of Mobi and Tesla and all the things that Ripple's working on as well, right? With mobility and devices, Internet of Things. Again, application is endless. Let's keep going. Right here, Volpay, we're talking about this hub, and at the bottom you can see this hub can be implemented across an extensive range of major established technology stacks. So right here, we have MuleSoft, all right? Next up, Volante explained that Volpay as a service supports management of range corporate enterprises, and we can see right here service providers, ACH, same-day ACH, Zelle, RCH, RTP clearing and settlements, and Swift cross-border payments are all supported under this solution. Makes sense? All right. Take a look at their partners again for the Anypoint platform by MuleSoft, and you'll see a lot of RippleNet partners as well. You can name Barclays, etc., and just kind of keep going here. All right, BBVA, Cisco, Citrix. Okay, a lot of names that you may have, recognized, whether it's for databases or financial, technology firms, banks, etc. Okay. All right, now as we keep going, run deploy easily to any cloud and on-premises with a single runtime. All right. And now right here, Volante dated back to 2015. We've seen all the Ripple Connect documents. This is in October 2015. Building on the Volpay Hub Ripple integration capability launched in 2015, Volante's new Ripple solution, available as a component of the Volpay Foundation payments development platform, offers the same functionality across any bank, treasury, or payment platform. An accelerator for bank integration to Ripple's DLT. Interesting. And then right here, I think we already brought this up with MuleSoft. We'll keep going. Now, example, disruption in payments, right here by MuleSoft. Even Ripple, named in their document below here for, of course, the back-end digitization, clearing, and settlement, replacing all of this clunky architecture and names and payment network and providers, and allowing them just to communicate seamlessly via, again, RippleNet, whether it's clearing and reconciliation or actual settlement with finality. We understand what the purpose and use case is for XRP. I mean, obviously, trust is probably one of the biggest ones, but for now, let's focus on actual, let's just lower the friction. Okay, trust is great, ideally, but let's stop going through a bunch of correspondent accounts and pre-funded accounts globally just to make money move. If you guys have been a long time, viewer of this channel, I don't even think I have to explain further with that. All right. Right here, front end, back end, just letting you guys take a look if you want a screenshot. All right. And then even Earthport named, again, another Earthport partner. All right. And they're kind of that big hub as well. All right. And then where was it? Okay. SAP. Now we'll talk about them, and just keep in mind, remember SAP trialing with Reese Bank, with ATB, for XRP, like truly trialing and sending XRP. And then who else is SAP a part of? I'm sure it's just another coincidence, but yes, they are a part of one of the biggest networks in the world, the Ariba network. Talk about, trillions of dollars moving and, focusing on DLT, actual initiatives, guys. All right. And then right here, Shane Nixon sharing this. Look at this. So right on Volante's site, guys, about Volante, you can see they power some of the world's largest banks, market infrastructures, exchanges, clearinghouses, and card networks. Explains what we saw above. Trillions of dollars move through our systems on a daily basis. Remember, we already saw, a good 2 trillion per day. Brad Kimes did an example, threw it through the calculator that Ripple's Susan Athey made, and that threw it with, obviously, what was it? I forgot the example, if it was like 40 billion or 60 billion circulating supply, but that alone, that volume threw XRP's price to 3 digits. So I just want you guys to understand, it's great for a $5 XRP, a $10 XRP. I'm sure, some of you would take whatever you can get at this point after waiting probably 3 years. I'd imagine the majority of the viewers have been here for 3 years, but I'm here for the long haul because those are the prices that I'm looking for. So just for one of our clients, we process over 800 million transactions per day. Everything we offer is available on premise or in the cloud. Volante operates worldwide, serving 100 plus customers in 35 countries. All right, 800 million transactions per day. Whether that's even relatively small payments, I mean, guys, they're powering actual card networks and some of the largest banks. So this isn't going to be the typical on-demand liquidity partner in a remittance payment of, $40,000 or, $5,000 or, even $200 transfers. This is big boy money. We're talking millions of dollars being cleared and settled seamlessly. So simply a matter of time. Just wanted to share that. Again, thank you, Matthew, Liny. So if you guys want to look into, MuleSoft, and also of course you can look into SAP further, but MuleSoft and Volante specifically, check them out. Keep in mind, Volante is also working in tandem with Finastra, RippleNet partner, 9,000 partners right there, the top 48 of 50 banks in the world. And also check out ACI Worldwide. If you guys find anything interesting, just please tag me on Twitter. I'm happy to take a look because obviously I'm always learning with the rest of you. All right, now right here, this was who I was talking about in the previous video, so I'm sorry for not giving you credit. So Salvo Leon, right here, the color selection and the similar geometry. Is it a coincidence? We have the ISO 20022 messaging standards. Keep in mind that Ripple's the first DLT group to join their standards body. And then, of course, Interledger Protocol. Pretty similar, again, the concept of, interoperability and standards of inter-networking and also just kind of this inter-messaging, the same information, the same, account holder, everything in the same type of, interoperable standard per se. Same framework would really help. All right, pretty interesting. I do like kind of drawing these conclusions and thinking about it. And this also reminds me of what Lisa, I believe it's All the Money on Twitter again, she showed PolySign showing that blockchain trilemma as well. All right. And in recent news, I know you guys have all seen this, just wanted to give a shout out to it. CNBC Disruptor 50, again, the top 50 private companies at the epicenter of changing the world, poised to emerge from this pandemic as the next generation of billion-dollar businesses. Ripple right now, obviously valued around $10 billion. And I do think, just like they've said, that, Circle, Coinbase, and Ripple have a high probability of going public in the future. Now, not financial advice, but if I were Ripple and obviously I was kind of a central bank holder of XRP and wanting to distribute it, and obviously when it goes up in price, we increase in value, maybe it's just me, but before going public, I would want to get an even higher valuation. So it would be nice for XRP to go up a good amount, 30, 50 cents, because that, I mean, every single penny is a huge move for their portfolio. And I think this week could get their, valuation a lot closer to $16 billion or even $18 billion before going public. Now, you guys might think that's absolutely crazy to say, especially for just a private company out of Silicon Valley. But hey, we are talking about the Internet of Value, and I've seen pretty crazy things already in 2020 thus far. All right, we're going to finish up with this. We're going to have Navin Gupta talking about the money locked up. Now, we've had actual video recordings showing people anywhere from $5 trillion to $27 trillion of money locked up globally doing nothing. And this is what XRP is going to free for the economy. It's not just about actual, payments and interoperability. It's about payment velocity. We can keep pumping money. We can have the Federal Reserve and these banks pumping money, putting digits on the screen. I mean, just creating more and more inflation. Obviously, there's still capital costs to these pre-funded accounts, and holding a bunch of money on the side is just in case. But at the end of the day, it's about the velocity of money and interoperability. There's too much friction in today's ecosystem. We can print as much money as we want, but at the end of the day, if the money cannot interoperate and move seamlessly, what's the point? We're just putting a band-aid over it. So again, the velocity of money is what XRP is solving as well for payments. There's going to be many digital assets. Yes, they can create permission databases and centralized cryptocurrencies that scale faster, but there's multiple benefits, pros and cons to all of that. And at the end of the day, with the framework, even with Swift and the standards that they've had with efficiency, transparency, scalability, XRP, guys, that might be biased of me, but I'm doing my research. I'm looking at the connections. Of course, we can invest into protocols, into businesses, but I think that we're really investing into the people here. So listen to Navin Gupta right here. And again, I believe he's still currently the director of the MENA regions and maybe part of Asia as well. Again, Middle East, North Africa specifically. So check this out. And shared by, again, boy_XRP, real XRP boy. Great information here. Notice that he cannot really say XRP because they're talking about cryptocurrency as a whole. So just listen to this. Yes, he talks about on-demand liquidity. All right, right here.
It's very helpful.
Absolutely.
Makes life much easier for all of you.
And taking advantage of that crypto currency framework, what we are going to do is the same thing that's available in a number of markets around the world. As you know, today, banks, when they fund, they keep nostro accounts with other institutions. And we estimate there is about $5 to $10 trillion that's stuck of depositors' money that's lying elsewhere around the world with capital risk, depreciation risk, and all the things that go with it. And that's the reason remittances are too expensive. But if you use cryptos to do just
all right, so 5 to 10 trillion, and we understand that Volante specifically processes what, a good 2 trillion per day?
Just-in-time settlement and just-in-time funding, that $5 to $10 trillion can come back home, reducing the cost for financial institutions, which in turn can make remittances cheaper. Because otherwise, the World Bank goal of bringing down the cost of remittances from 8% to a below sub-5 number would not be achievable. But with on-demand liquidity, that means using cryptos to fund it between two licensed exchanges is the best way to go.
Wonderful.
Interesting. And now notice that he was just talking about the World Bank's goal to lower the cost of remittances. Well, words mean things. And do you remember that article I showed you? What was it, 2017 maybe? The World Bank praises XRapid for its innovative approach, thinking outside of the box. Obviously, I think I heard Crypto Addy or someone say it. Obviously, Ripple is a huge disruptor, but sometimes that can have a negative connotation for groups that are saying, yes, we're working with regulators from the get-go. All of our clients are directly regulated, hence we are directly regulated as well. KYC, AML, everything in each and every country. And also, being based out of, domiciled in the US has pros and cons as well. But at the end of the day, I think that it is a pro. Perhaps that is just my own bias speaking, but time will tell. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Be sure to like this video. I appreciate everyone that shares this on Twitter. And until the next one, thanks.